Hey you guys! So I promised you a talking version of this video. I'm going to share with you a pizza recipe, and I'm starting off doing some tapping, scratching and some crinkles on all of the ingredients. This is the instant yeast. I've got a few packages here. And next I'm going to add a bit of sugar. I made a note there, but I'll say it as well. Sorry about the black thing on my thumb. I have no clue what that is or how it got there. But yeah, I'm going to use a bit of sugar in this recipe. That's actually going to go in the sauce. So we're making the dough, the sauce. I've got some shredded cheese, mozzarella, and then we'll do some toppings together as well. This is the kitchen, FYI, of my husband's family. So we'll be cooking here today. And if you don't know, I live in Egypt. My husband is Egyptian, and so you're going to hear a little bit of like Egypt outside sounds. I think call to prayer might be going on in the background there. Yeah, so this is not my kitchen, but it's much bigger than the kitchen I had in my previous apartment. So we'll have a little more space, and I've been excited to actually film a cooking video for you guys in the kitchen, because I have not been able to for a while. So this is obviously the flour. Got some olive oil. So I just found a recipe online to make the dough, the pizza dough, and like this is a voiceover. I'm filming this after having already tried the pizza, so I'll kind of share my thoughts on the recipe as we go to. This recipe used quite a bit of olive oil. Seriously, what is the black thing on my thumb? I don't know what it is. I couldn't see when I was filming because I was filming using the back camera, so I could not see anything. I love the sound of this part of the olive oil bottle. I call it its like shoulders. This is a little container of salt. Lots of times in Egyptian kitchens you'll see just like this, this was a Heinz product that they cleaned out and they're using it for salt now. So you'll find lots of little jars from different odds and ends of products, and they're now used for the salt and the sugar and the this and the that. So a little spoon for the salt. So I purchased some pre-packaged shredded mozzarella, but next time I would like to try with just mozzarella that I can shred on my own. I use this type of cheese when I make eggplant parmesan, which I've also done a video making on this channel. But this was the first time making pizza like this for me in Egypt, and I would have preferred like a fresh mozzarella that was shredded. I'm just kind of motioning that we use a lot of tomatoes, not just those three. So this is a mixture, the yeast, the salt, the sugar, and I decided to make actually 4 times the recipe amount because I was making food for lots of people and I wanted to make lots of pizzas. So we've got our flour here. So this was also my first time making the dough, a pizza dough. I've never done it before. I've made pizza many a times, but I always purchase, since I was even young we did this. We purchased, this is the second bowl of flour, by the way, because you need to add that in later. So I'll come back to what I was saying so you can see what I'm doing now, but just adding in the little balls of the yeast and the salt and the sugar into the flour. There's no like measuring cups here. I mean, you can get measuring cups in Egypt, but the majority of kitchens aren't going to have them. So I kind of use those little cups to measure. So what I was saying is I actually didn't prefer this dough very much, and again it could be because it was my first time making it, but here's the second part, it's going to go in later. But I don't really want to link the recipe I use because I didn't think it was that great. So I would suggest finding a recipe that is better. And I don't know what that is, I'm so sorry, but you can still watch me make it. So I've added the olive oil and the warm water. I'm going to mix that together. Once this was mixed, I was instructed to add the remainder of the flour. And I'll show you what it looks like, kind of all mixed together before adding the flour. Mix again. Again, the crust, like, it turned out kind of, I don't know, felt like pastry or something. Something was off. So that's why I don't want to put the recipe below. But anyway, it was really fun to make. So here it is. You have to place your dough in a bowl like this with some paper towel or something over it, so that it can rise. So I place it in a warm spot for it to rise, and I will show it to you again after the bread has risen, the dough has risen. And in the meantime, we will chop up some garlic and some other vegetables for both toppings and the sauce that we're going to make, the pizza sauce. We're going like full homemade today. We're making the pizza sauce from scratch also. The pizza sauce was delicious, and I'll show that to you in a moment as I make it. But yeah, the crust had, it wasn't pastry, it was like, I want to say like a bit crumbly, not crumbly. Okay, well, here's where the electricity goes out. That happens every day here, almost every day, and for about an hour to 2 hours the electricity is out. So we're going to chop with some nice mood lighting. And I've got like a flashlight going on here. That's so yeah, I keep wanting to describe the crust to you guys and I can't quite. It wasn't super crumbly, but just like almost too much. A bit crumbly, a bit almost like felt like layers of pastry. I don't know, it just wasn't that great. So, but it was my first time, so we'll try again another time with a different recipe. Look at it, it's huge. It like tripled or something in size. Only like an hour or something like that. It rose very fast. So I'm going to show you a few of the other items in the dark here. These don't make sounds, but some of the peppers. These are olives, canned black olives that are already sliced. Got some mushrooms that we're going to slice up. So I am going to start here with sauteing some garlic. This is going to be for the sauce, and adding in lots and lots of sliced tomatoes. And adding some salt. I will continue to add more water, salt, the electricity's back on, and also a few other ingredients to the sauce later, but we're gonna let it cook on kind of a low heat, simmer till it looks like this. So I'll add some water and just keep adding water as the tomatoes break down. So some people like peppers on their pizza like this, so I'm going to make a number of different pizzas, meaning different toppings. I'm actually going to make two sauces as well. Of the sauce that I'm making now, I'll break it into two parts. There will be one that's spicy and one that is not. These are all the ingredients after they're chopped up. Got mushrooms, some tomatoes, some chilies, some green olives. I kind of skipped over some of the garlic there, but there's peppers. And it's all ready, the dough. This is our balcony, I'll show it to you another time, but I love the process of pushing the air out of the dough once it's risen. So even though I have not made the dough from scratch before, I always get it, I was starting to say this earlier and I think I cut myself off. I purchase it frozen and then I let it thaw out and rise, and I work with it. I've worked with it from like this stage. So this stage I'm very familiar with. And actually, when I was rolling out the dough and everything, it actually felt good. It was moving the right way. It was like when I was trying to shape it, it felt right. So I thought, oh, this is probably going to be pretty good. But yeah, something wasn't right. Any of you guys out there that are chefs, pastry chefs, anything like that, what was I missing? I actually usually don't use a rolling pin for this process. I usually use my hands, but it was quicker and kind of like the look of the rolling pin moving around. This is what I usually do. Can't really see the top of my hands, but kind of like flip it around and let it kind of extend, and yeah, you kind of need to like pull it out without breaking the dough. So I ended up making 5 pizzas with that amount of dough. I had made enough for 4 actually, I quadrupled the recipe, but a few of the plates at my husband's family, it's home, not plates, like baking sheets essentially, were quite small, so I kind of ended up making 3 smaller ones and 2 bigger ones. So if you've never done this before, I definitely recommend using a rolling pin. You're going to put, like you saw in the beginning, I put some flour down so it didn't stick to the countertops. And here, this part I'm just going with the recipe. I've never done this when making pizza on my own. I don't usually make a crust. I just put the sauce and the cheese and the toppings on top. I don't make an actual like roll like this for crust, but they suggested it, and so I thought I would try it. So at this point, family started coming in, etc. So I didn't get to film as much of putting on the toppings I wanted to show you all of them, but it would have been too loud. So I'm just going to show you here putting. This is again the recipe suggested doing this. I never have done this before. This could have been part of the problem. I don't know. They suggested putting olive oil on like this. Anyway, then I did the sauce. So this is the sauce. Again, I made 2 kinds of sauces. I did add some spicy chilies and some chili flakes, etc. into one of the pizza sauces. This is them already with toppings. I'm so sorry I didn't get to show you that part. But yeah, it was just like got loud. I'll show you the pizzas when they're done though. And this was the salad that I made with it. There they are. They looked so fun, and they were good. They were good, but I want to like make a recipe for the dough that's better than what I used, or find one that's better than I used. As it says, thank you guys for watching. I do love you guys very much. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Bye for now.